All right, guys, here's what we're making today. The Zynah by Car Threads. This pattern's been out for a while. I don't really know how long, probably 3 or 4 years. But I've never made it. I don't know why, because I absolutely love it. This might be my new bag. So it's a decent size. I'd call it a medium handbag, crossbody. You have a zipper pocket here. Right there. Zipper pocket. You have a slip pocket in the back. Let me see what you're seeing. A slip pocket in the back, which is big, huge. You have a zipper top closure. And then on the inside, you have 2 slip pockets and a zipper pocket. And plenty of room. Tons of room. And she does call for purse feet, and I did do purse feet on the bottom. Crossbody strap with fancy zipper strap ends. You guys, this is one of the cutest bags I think I've made in a long time. Leather, vinyl, mermaid vinyl by So Yours. She's out of it, but she's ordered more. Leather from Tandy, I believe. I did skive it. There's a video out there on skiving. There's actually a video of me cutting it out. Oh my gosh, I love it. Be sure and give a thumbs up. Let's get started. Thanks for watching. Good morning, everyone. Before this clip, you'll see the finished product of the Zynah by Car Threads. Making it out of leather and some of the mermaid vinyl from So Yours. Pretty excited about that. I have already made my strap. I'm using my strap ends, 1.5 inch. So I already made that. And we're getting ready to start with the zipper, the front zipper. So let's get started. All right, so we're going to take our zipper. She gives you the length, and we're adding the zipper ends. And we're going to sew those on. Let me just make sure. Yeah. Okay. All right, I'm doing it a little different than the pattern calls for. I just put a tab here, and I'm going to fold it over like that, and then I'll cut off the excess. Everything about this mermaid print is just my favorite. Okay, let's cut off the excess on the sides. And in the back. Don't cut your zipper. There we go. So that's what you should end up. If you do it her way, however you do it, you should end up with something like this. Okay? Let's repeat that on the other end, and I'll do that on fast forward. All right, so take your front bottom lining piece, and we're going to center our zipper panel on that and sew that with an 1/8 inch seam allowance, just basting it on. Right side up, and the zipper pull closing to the right. All right, and you should have already prepped your top lining piece with the template that she provides. And now we're going to add this. Let me just make sure I'm telling you right. It looks like this. Yeah. With this indentation going up. We're going to add it right on top of that. And sew that at the seam allowance in the pattern. This is, I think this is that hidden pocket. I'm not sure. We'll see. Okay. I'm stuck somewhere. Get my zipper pull out of the way. Okay. Then we're going to turn that up just like this. And we're going to top stitch on the lining piece. Oh, with the zipper going up. Yes, that makes more sense. And top stitch with that seam underneath on the lining piece, on the bottom lining piece. Let me get my zipper pull out of the way. There we go. Okay. Perfect. So this is what you have. And I know it looks kind of weird, doesn't it? It's because it's a hidden pocket. Next step. All right, so take your front bottom panel, and she suggests you put your tag on now, so I did do that. And we're going to take what we just created with this little zipper. Make sure your zipper is down. We're going to add it to the top, clip it in place, and we're going to follow those markings that we did from the template. You're probably going to want a zipper foot on here just to keep it close on there and not go over your zipper. So down and around. I did change into my zipper foot. I really like having my zipper foot on, I will say. Yeah, here we go. Making noises, isn't it? Okay. Very interesting. Now we are going to just clip, actually trim this right here into that curve right there. Okay. And then we're just going to clip that a little bit so we get a nice curve. just on the curves. Okay. Okay, then we're going to turn it wrong sides together. I think I should have skived this just a little more. It'll be fine though. And we're going to top stitch. That Sandy at Care Threads is just, I mean, this pattern has been out for, gosh, a few years, and I've just never made it. I don't know why. No reason. Oh my gosh, look how cute that is. Now we're going to top stitch that. Okay, hold on. All right, let's top stitch. Just make sure your zipper's out of the way. And just go slow. I'm going a little slower because my leather is pretty thick. Okay, I'm going to get my zipper out of the way. Let me see. There we go. This may look hard, but it's really not. You just really need to take your time. Thought I broke my clip. Oh my gosh. How pretty is this? I don't know what happened there, but let's burn those threads. Okay. All right. Oh my gosh, look at that. Look how pretty that is. Okay, next step. All right, so take your front panel and your second lining piece, and we're going to add that right on top and just sew along the zipper. And I put some tape on here so it would stay where I want it to. And it is probably easier if you open your zipper. Yep, I can get that on there, right? It's a little tricky because of your zipper pull, I will say. Okay. And then we're just going to stitch 1/8 of an inch just to baste that zipper in place. very interesting. I love it. I love it. Okay, let me get this thread off of there. Then we're going to take our front top panel and we're going to attach that to that lining piece and that zipper and sew at the seam allowance. Interesting. It's a little maneuvering to keep everything out of the way. I don't know if it would help to open that. I don't think it would. Let me see. Yeah, let me open it until I get past it, all the way down. Okay. And then you're sewing at the full seam allowance. While I'm down here, I'm going to push my zipper back so it's out of the way. It's pretty important to do the seam allowance too, because that's the trick of the hidden zipper. At least that's what I think. Okay. Oh my gosh. Look at that. Look how good that looks. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I'm so happy. All right, next step. All right, so take this piece and your front bottom panel and turn those to the left. We want to top stitch this second lining piece to that seam. So this is the only thing we're stitching here. Very interesting. Okay. I gotta find my zipper pull. Oh, it's way down there. The seam allowance is underneath. Okay, I'm gonna move that zipper pull back. Okay. Just make sure it's not too snug. Oh my gosh, that is so pretty. So this is what you have. Just like that. Oh my. All right, now we're going to match those seams on the sides. And clip. So you're matching this seam right here and this other seam and clip those together. Let me get this right here. There we go. Okay. And you want to make sure this is a certain height. And mine is actually perfect on that side. And it's perfect on that side. That's shocking to me. All right, now we're going to So lift this front panel up out of the way, and we're going to sew the pockets bottom together. And if it doesn't match, don't get too worried about it. Okay. So now the bottom of your pocket is sewn together, and now we're going to stitch the sides. Just baste those. On both sides. Trying to find my zipper pull. Okay. And there is that front panel with the hidden zipper pocket. Just like that. So when you look at it directly on, you can't even tell there's a zipper behind there. I love it. Next step. All right, so take your back pocket lining and measure up and add the male portion of your magnetic snap. Then take your back pocket panel, which is piece D, lay that right side up, and we're going to lay this right on top with that magnetic snap on the top. Right sides together. And then we're going to sew that together at the seam allowance in the pattern. Then we're going to fold that up and over, and we're going to top stitch on the back bottom panel. And you should have plenty of clearance with the snap. I used a 14mm snap. Okay, now we're going to top stitch. Perfect. Next step. All right, so with the panel that you just created, this is your back panel, exterior bottom, and this is the lining. Lay it towards you with the snap in front or on top. And we're going to take our back panel top panel C, and we're going to lay that I think I put this on here. Oh no, this is right. With the top on the bottom. I'll show you. The interfacing is put on a certain way. And so it's pretty easy to tell which way this goes. So it should look like this, with these angles going down and attached here. And then we're going to sew that together at the seam allowance in the pattern. Okay, which is pretty standard seam allowance for her. And we're going to turn that over and top stitch. On the lining piece with that seam underneath. Now, on this panel, this top back panel, we're going to measure down a certain amount and make a line with our marker. Okay. And that's where we're going to bring this up to that line and clip that in place. Okay. And then we want to make sure this is a certain height. And it is. Yeah, it is. A little extra there. Okay. Perfect. Now, we want to mark for where our snap goes here. And I have to use another pen here. So I just put a little marking. You can use a Sharpie. I might have to use a Sharpie because I can't see it. Okay, I'll just use a Sharpie. Let's see. Where's a Sharpie? This won't be seen. It'll be covered up. There we go. There it is, right there. Okay. And then we're going to make our hole for the other part of our snap. Perfect. Grab your snap. And this is the female portion of the snap. And I'm using a piece of Decaville, an extra piece, just to give it a little extra stability there. Probably not necessary, but you know. Perfect. Okay, let me go snap that, or press that. All right, then we're just going to base these sides. All right, just make sure you caught everything. And I just barely missed this right here. And then what? Okay. Perfect. So there you have your back pocket. panel. Oh my goodness. Nice big pocket. I love it. Next step. All right, let's do our connectors. This is just one piece. And we're going to sew down each side. And then we'll cut them into 4 pieces. Okay, perfect. All right, let's cut these into, let me just check how, all right, so take your, I did different connectors, how I'm doing mine. So take your D-ring connector, put it right side together, make the slit just like she tells you to, and right side down and add your D-ring strap connector. I always have to pull it through. You want that hole to be really pretty tight. So it's okay if it's really snug like that. And then on this one, I'm pulling it up about 2 inches. And I'm going to stitch right underneath my slit on the strap connector. Not going off the strap connector. Okay. This is the best way to do these. I mean, it's so fast. I struggled with these for years, so I was happy to find a way to do it really quickly. Get the thread off of there. Then put your D-ring on, and then we're going to put that other part of the strap, the connector, up through that hole. Just like that. So now both of these pieces are back here. And on the front, that's what you see on the front. Let me see what you can see. Just like that. And just pull it taut. Don't over pull it. You don't want it to be bunchy. So it should look just like that. Then I'm going to take these 2 pieces, fold my side panel out of the way, and I'm going to stitch these 2 together. Then we're going to add a rivet. And we're going to add a rivet underneath that D-ring, nice and centered through all these layers. Grab, a rivet. Did I say D-ring or rivet? Don't even know what I said. Put the rivet in there. And these happen to be my wide rivets. And it's going to end up just like that. So I'll go press that. So here's the 2 side panels with the straps. Next step. All right, so on your front panel, take it and make the mark she tells you in the pattern. Then take your pattern piece and lay it exactly like she tells you to in the pattern. It's not hard. It's just, you're probably thinking, what? And then we're going to stitch inside this line. I know. It feels weird. Trust me. I know. And then we're going to cut some off. Make sure your zipper hole's in the center. You don't want to accidentally go over your zipper ball. Okay. Amazing to me. Oh, these designers, sometimes I'm so amazed. Where's my zipper pull? Yep, my zipper pull's in the middle. Okay. All right, then we're going to cut that off. Let me see. J. Yep. Okay, here we go. Feels weird, but we're doing it. So then you have a pattern piece that looks, the shape is a little like this. Then we're going to cut off the top where we marked that as well. Interesting. Again, interesting. Okay. So you end up with a piece like this. It's a little shorter on the top and it's angled on the sides. Amazing. All right, then take, on my base, I already did my base and I did my purse feet. So I have 5 purse feet and I did 2 rows of top stitching, mainly because the first row I did wasn't in far enough, and that's okay. It's totally fine. Now I am going to measure and mark my seam allowance. Which is always a good thing. Always mark your seam allowance. She has you do that on most of her patterns. I don't mind doing it because I think it really helps. Actually. Okay. On all 4 sides. I'm just using a pen. Okay. Then we are going to grab one of our sides. Get rid of this for now. And on the bottom of both sides, let me do that. On the bottom of both sides, we're going to mark the seam allowance as well. Then we're going to add the sides, and starting at the top, I'm going to clip it on. And we're going to sew just down to those marks. We're not going to sew past those marks on either side on the bottom. Mine is kind of thick over here because of the leather, but I think it'll be fine. Okay. And so seam allowance down and stop at the and back stitch at those marks we made. on the other side. So that's what you have. Man, that looks so good. I love it. All right. Next step. All right, so take your back panel and repeat the steps here with your pattern piece, etc. Yeah. Okay. And then stitch that together. Oh, I just ran out of open. Okay. All right, let's finish that. Feels so weird to cut this off. Alright. Let me make sure these are the same size. Yep. Yep. Okay. Now we're going to take our back panel and sew it to the sides. Same thing, we're going to start and stop at that mark on the side panel. And repeat. finish the other side. Okay, now we're going to add our bottom. And I do have all my centers marked, except I did not mark the side center. So let me do that real quick. The short side. Oh, that long, that doesn't have a center. Good grief, girl. Mark out your centers ahead of time. It'll save you in the end. Even if you don't think you're going to need it, you probably will. Okay, we're going to add our bottoms on each long side. And we're going to sew to that mark and backstitch. Start and stop at that mark. Repeat that on the other long side. That looks good. I know, it might be nice. It might be my new bag. We'll see. Don't you wish you could keep everything you make? You just can't. Not the volume I make. Okay, let's do this side. Now we are going to cut in to the main panel. Grab my scissors just to our stitching on all four corners. Don't go past your stitching. And that allows us to flatten these seams out, which just always is amazing to me how well this works. On both short ends. And then we'll stitch that. do the other side. All right, let's clip off these corners without cutting any stitching. Perfect. All right, next step. Okay, we are going to trim the side seams to about half, except for the top inch or so. I'm going to go ahead and trim my bottoms too. It is hot here today. It's in the high 80s today. Believe it or not. Okay, let's trim these sides. Okay. Perfect. Then she has you open up those seams, which I'm going to do. And tape them open on all four corners. All right, take one of your lining pieces, mark your centers, measure down what she tells you in the pattern, and we're going to center our overlay right at that line. And then we will stitch around the outside of our overlay and pull those threads to the back. I think I need to change my needle. I can kind of hear it. Stop where we started. Pull those threads to the back, even them up, and tie them off. And then cut out the center. Use my duck scissors. Okay. Perfect. Now let's grab our zipper pockets. Into your zipper pocket pieces. And let's grab a piece of zipper. Let's add some tape to the back. I like to add my tape before I put my zipper pull on. It's just nice and flat. I think it's easier myself. Okay. Grab your zipper pull. You could really put your zipper pull on after you get this on, but I'm just going to go ahead and do it now. Okay, right side up. Zipper pull closing to the left. And baste that on. And I'm going to turn it over and flatten it out. This nylon doesn't iron very well, so we'll flatten it with a stitch. And repeat that on the other side. Just make sure your sides and the top are even. Perfect. And repeat. Alright, then we have our zipper pocket. We're getting there. So that's what it looks like on the back side. And this is what it looks like on the front side. Perfect. Now I'm going to add a couple more pieces of tape. And then we'll put it inside our overlay. Now, I always do one side at a time. I just find that easier. And it's easier to get things nice and straight. Nothing gets all sticky. Yep. Okay, lift that up, take the tape off. And lay that down, nice and even. And stitch around the inside. Make sure your zipper pockets are nice and flat. And stop where you started. Turn that over and pull those threads to the back. Okay. Even up our threads. You'd be surprised how much that helps. And tie those off. All right. Perfect. All right. Now let's see. I don't believe we leave this open. Oh, we do. We do. We leave this open. So we'll pull this down, clip it, and just do the sides. Right side up. And we're going to do the sides only. I should have cut this. Let me cut it off. Even at the bottom of your pocket. Okay, perfect. And then we're going to fold that up. About 3/8. And then repeat on the other side. Then we'll trim everything up. I'm going to trim these corners down here so we can get a nice corner. I'm going to trim off our zipper tape. We cut our zipper tape, so we always want to burn that. And repeat that on this side. And trim that up down here. Okay. Clean up our mess. And you can turn this out so that when you're ready to close up this zipper pocket, it will be. So just like that. Okay, very nice. Next step. All right, take your slip pocket and measure in on each long edge, just like she tells you to, and add some tape. We're going to fold to that line on both sides. I really prefer this way of doing slip pockets. It's so easy and it always looks really good. Okay, now we're going to fold those wrong sides together and clip and only sew across the top. Then we'll add our trim. 1/8 of an inch here. Okay. Grab your trim. This is a really long piece of trim because it was just the end. So we're just going to divide it down the center. Add some tape and add it to the top of our pocket. And we're just going to add it to the line, just shy of that center line. That gives us a little fold over option there. And fold that over. This mermaid looks so good with this green. Now we're going to top stitch. And we'll cut off our excess. Which for me is a lot. It was just a little remnant. There we go. And there's your slip pocket. So pretty. Now grab your other lining piece. And we're going to add that. Let me see how far down. Oh, we're measuring up from the bottom to place this. Okay. Let's find our center. And I'll use a couple sew tights to keep it in place. Measuring up, okay. Quite a ways. Interesting. Okay. These magnets, the sew tight people that created these are just amazing. Okay. Let's sew all the way around, except for the top. take our magnets off. Be careful, these are really strong. If you have a pacemaker, I wouldn't use these. And then I'm going to add a pen pocket on this side. Or you can divide it in half, whatever works for you. All right. Let's see if there's any. All right, there's your slip pocket. Next step. All right, take your long zipper, your outer zipper, and mark down what she tells you to in the pattern. And then we're going to fold to that line and bring it back up to the zipper and pin it in place. Just like that. Then we're going to just put a few stitches there to keep that nice and folded. Doesn't take very many. Then I immediately get rid of my straight pins. Cut off the end of your zipper on each side, nice and evenly. So we cut our zipper, so we're always going to melt that end, just a little. Have my zipper pull on, and then you can see that's nice and even. We've prepared our zipper panels on both short ends, all 4 short ends. You measure in and fold it down. And then on one of the exterior, measure in from the left side and add your zipper tape right sides down. Add another little piece of tape, and we're going to sandwich with our lining piece. Take the tape off, and you want to just match the short ends. And they match like perfectly. Okay. And then we're just going to stitch across at the seam allowance in the pattern. Again, it's easier to have a zipper foot on here. She doesn't do zippers this way anymore. It's kind of funny because this is an older pattern of hers. She does her zippers a lot different, but that's okay. We're going to do it the way the pattern shows. And then I am going to trim these ends just to get rid of some of the bulk on both ends without cutting my zipper tape. So just like that and that. Then I'm going to pull wrong sides together. And we'll stitch all the way around. Okay. Perfect. Go slow on these edges, it gets thick. All right, we're going to repeat that, and I'll do that on fast forward with the other side. All right, take your panel with your zipper pocket, find the centers of your zipper panel, and we're going to lay that right side up centered. And the reason we do this on the zipper panel side first is that the zipper open and close the same way. It's really looks better and functions better if you do it that way. Then we're going to take our interior top lining pieces and we're going to find the centers of those, which, you know, if I'd been doing my due diligence, I would have already done that, but I didn't. It's okay, just as long as you do it. And then as you notice, these edges are angled. So we want the longer straight edge on top centered. So you can base this, but I'm going to just do it in one stitch and clip it good. And the seam allowance is the standard seam allowance that she has. Okay. And we'll do that on both sides and top stitch. Make sure you know where your zipper pulls are. And we're going to turn and fold the zipper up just like this, and we're going to top stitch on the lining piece, that seam underneath. Again, make sure you never your zipper close. Perfect, we're getting there. And we're going to repeat that with the other lining piece. And our interior top lining. If you clip it good, you shouldn't have any movement, so just take your time. Okay. Find out where your zipper pulls are. Okay. And fold that all up and top stitch. Alright, there you go. That's what you have. Next step. Alright, we're going to sew down the sides, and the bottom part is a bigger seam allowance, and then you narrow back down to the regular seam allowance. So just be aware of that. We're going to do the same thing here. Trim our seams. And then we're going to fold those side seams in. I'm just going to do it all one at a time. Okay, I'm just going to clip those open, and we're going to repeat on this side. I'll do it on fast forward. All right, next step. All right, so your exterior is wrong side out and your lining needs to be right side out. So we're going to turn that right side out. Open my zipper. It won't open. Let's try that. There we go. I'm just going to clip my zipper closed. Okay. So pretty. Oh my gosh, it just really looks good. All right, so for the back, which is where the slip pocket is, that's where I want my zipper pocket. So we're going to put that inside. And we're going to match up. Oh gosh, I didn't get my center on this piece. Very bad girl. Very bad girl. Find your centers. Everything else is centered, I think. There we go. Okay. Try it again, Barb. The back has the zipper pocket. Okay, good. Okay, let's put that down in there. And we're going to clip everything all the way around. I think I'm going to use these clips because they just hold better. And everything is just a little slippery. Okay. I think I will finish it up on, I need to decide. I might do it on Thor. We'll see. It fits perfectly. Okay. I'll stitch this here. Let me see what the seam allowance is. Okay. Let me clean up my clips here. Okay. Let's do it. This one. It's really much easier to do it on Thor, but I'm already here. Just always stop with your needle down. That helps. I guess I should put you down here so you can kind of see what I'm doing. Okay. That wasn't too bad. All right, let's pull our lining out. I'm going to make sure that I didn't catch my zipper. Yep, I didn't. All right, now we're going to turn it right side out. Not bad. Not bad at all. Poke out your corners. Oh my gosh, this is really cute, I have to say. Okay, let's push that down inside and we'll finish the lining through our zipper pocket, but I'm going to do my top stitching first. And I'll just do it here. Let's just do it here. Just roll your seam. Push your D-rings out of the way. All right. Perfect. And let's top stitch, and then we will finish the lining. I'm going to do it on Thor. You just get a much better top stitch over on Thor, so I'm going to go thread Thor and we'll finish up over there. All right, let's do it. And over here on my friend Thor, I'm going to hold my threads, get my zipper pull out of the way, and let's do it. I am going to pull my threads to the back, or to the inside, I should say. But let me get my table out of the way. Okay. I'm just throwing things. Okay. This is so much easier. I mean, if you have a cylinder arm, you have to use it. That's why you buy it. And it makes this process so much faster. So much better in general. With a better looking result and a easier, just the whole process is easier. Hold your D-rings out of the way. This is my new bag, I've already decided. I needed a little bigger bag. Okay, I'm going to stop where I started. There we go. Pull those threads to the inside. We'll see. I have to finish. I have to finish before I decide. I've never been a big fan of green, and this isn't really green. It's kind of a teal green. Let me see. I went one stitch too far, and sometimes when you do that, you have a hard time. There we go. Getting the thread to pull to the inside. My fault. All right, let's shorten these threads. Tie them off. I do have an accordion cut out. But I actually might make myself a purse pal instead. I haven't made a purse pal in forever. Okay. Guys. Look how pretty that is. All right, I'm going to open up my zipper pocket, and excuse me, I'm going to pull the lining through the zipper pocket, and we'll finish it up. Find your centers. This is why it's really important to use your center markings. Yep. do the bottom and then we'll box our corners. Finish our zipper pockets. You guys, the Zynah by Car Threads. I love it. Leather vinyl. You have a hidden zipper pocket here, which is huge actually. You have a top zipper closure. I mean, this is just a gorgeous bag. You have a top zipper closure, slip pockets, and a zipper pocket on the inside. Tons of room on the inside. And then a slip pocket back here. You guys, I love this bag. I have no idea what took me so long to make it. And then there's purse feet on the bottom. Look, you can't even see the zipper, that there's a zipper here. It looks like a slip pocket. And then I did my fancy straps with my strap ends. And I even think I got my tag right. Straight. The Zynah by Car Threads. You guys, you should go get the pattern if you haven't. If you have made one already, you should go make another. I'm going to make another. In fact, I think Lori and I might do this one live. She's done it, so go watch her video. But oh my gosh, the mermaid and the leather together. Thanks for watching. Be sure to give a thumbs up. That makes all the difference. I appreciate you. Bye-bye.